What's good, beautiful people of the internet? Welcome back again to our wonderful YouTube channel. My name is Maleek, and if this is your first time visiting our YouTube channel, this is the first time seeing me on your screen, kindly make sure to subscribe. And I say thank you for visiting me if this is your first time, and also thank you for my return subscribers, for all of you who have been supportive, watching my videos, commenting. I think next time I need to give shout outs to like most of the return subscribers who come onto my channel to subscribe. This is one of the beautiful ways that you can support a brother, man. I mean, we're doing good, right? We're doing great with some of the most important informations. Even when you go to Google, you might not be able to find such information. So we make sure we dig down, we dive deep to get all the good informations for you. So anyways, in today's video, we're basically going to talk about the necessary documents to travel into Qatar. In terms, let's say you're traveling into Qatar to work, what are some of the necessary? There might be thousands of documents, but let's talk about the important ones. Now, if you're traveling into Qatar to work, the kind of documents you will have to possess or you have to have in your possessions are not the same documents that you need to have when you come in with hire card or you come in to visit. This kind of documents are different from each other. And lucky for people like us who are working in Qatar here, or people who want to visit Qatar with hire card or just visit Qatar for visiting purpose, we are lucky enough because this is not like the US, some part of the Europe where when you try to visit or when you want to go there, you need to show proof of funds. Guess what? If you want to visit someone in Qatar, you don't need any proof of funds. You just book your accommodation for the period of stay. Let's say if you want to stay for 20 days, you need to book just for 20 days, get an insurance, which I think is very, very cheap now, 50 riyals. I don't know how much that is equivalent in dollars, but just 50 riyals. Health insurance for just a month, which is, I think, is very affordable. Anyways, we are not here to talk about that part of it, but rather the other side of it, which is when you want to come to Qatar and work, right? You make some money. So these are the kind of documents. First of all, you need to get a traveling passport. Now, this is just the beginning of everything. Without a traveling passport, how do you then move? So this is one of the most important. Actually, there are two important documents over here, and the first one is your traveling passport. It's a must. You need to have a valid passport. Your passport has to be at least valid to its expiring date. It has to be valid for like 6 months before you can travel into Qatar, whether you are traveling to work, visits, or just even transit. Yeah, it still has to be valid. So the second on the list will be your police clearance certificate. I'm sure if you are traveling into Qatar to work, 100% you need to have your police clearance certificate. Even if your current company doesn't need it, just have it in your possession. You might never know when this certificate will be needed, and make sure it is attested, especially if you are getting this police clearance certificate from your country. I mean, from Ghana. I always use Ghana as a reference because, yeah, I'm from Ghana. So I came to Qatar here, and the only document I had in my possession was my yellow fever vaccination card. That was the only thing I had because, yeah, if you're coming from Africa, I think with Africa, any part of Africa, regardless, we don't care whether North Africa, you think you speak Arabic, so you don't need a yellow fever vaccination card. You need it. If you don't get it when you get to the airport, you definitely need to get it. So let's stick to the list. So the first one on the list was traveling passport, right? Not passport picture, but a traveling passport. So you need to get a traveling passport and also the police clearance certificate. I think it's even easier to get it when you are in Ghana than you are in abroad, because trust me, if you are in Ghana, it's way cheaper than you being outside of the country, because if you're outside of the country, you pay at least, I think, 1,000 Ghana cedis, and if you're in Ghana, you pay around 300 or 200 Ghana cedis. So which one do you prefer? Would you prefer to get it whilst you are still in Ghana, or you would want to get it whilst you are outside of the country? I think it makes sense. Get it in the country, save 700 cedis, just get it for 300 cedis. And I think it's very easy. You can get it at the police headquarters in Accra. I think I have a few people I know personally over there who have been able to help people get their police clearance. Forgive me, English in India, it worry me lately. So third on the list is your medical checkup certificate. Now, this medical checkup certificate, I've realized most of the agents want to recommend you to a particular clinic or a particular hospital to get it. Now, come to think of it, I know the agent is trying to help you, but then again, I always say this, they don't help you. It's just a trade. You pay them for their services. So let's even evaluate that, or let's delete that word, like they are trying to help you. It's not help. I don't know how we are going to do this, but agents are not supposed to recommend you to a particular clinic to go get your medical test, because the agent can plan with someone to get the test for you, just for you to get things done. But trust me, some agents don't take you to the right clinic, and they just they just conjure some, they just put things together to get your medical certificate, which they might not tell you what is actually wrong with you. Just because they need your money, they will just let you go to a particular clinic that, you know, they have their people over there, so they can just do anything for you and get the money. But when you get into Qatar here, because imagine, there was this story I heard early this year, right? So there was this girl who came to Qatar, and she was coming to work as a nanny, right? So she paid a lot of money to come into Qatar here. Little did she know that her medical certificates were fake. Because when you get here, before you get your QID, which is your Qatar identification card, you would have to go for a fingerprint and a checkup, a re-checkup. So even after you've arrived in Qatar, you still go for a medical checkup. And if you fail this medical checkup, you go back to Ghana. And this agent is not going to give you back the money. No, at least he's done his part. He brought you to Qatar. The how to survive was solely up to you, but you did not survive. So he owes you nothing, or they owe you nothing now. So I don't think it's a very good idea for an agency to recommend a particular clinic or a particular hospital or a place of such for you to go and run your test. Go to a clinic you think they are valid and they are legit. Go there, get your medical checkup certificate, and make sure. Now, the reason why they run this medical checkup in Ghana before you even get here, for you to be sure that you are physically, mentally, spiritually fit before you travel out of the country, because you might not know what's wrong with you. You get to Qatar here and you realize, oh, you are sick, you're not supposed to come, or things like that. Just make sure you know how you're doing before you travel, right? Fourth on the list, I think I've already mentioned that yellow fever vaccine certificate. I think with Africans, so with Ghana, yes, you definitely need a yellow fever vaccine certificate. So, and I think when you take every shot, like the vaccine shots for the yellow fever, I think it takes 10 years till you take another one. So if it's not more than 10 years, then I think, yeah, you can still use it. If you have any educational certificate, artisanal certificate, because sometimes it's not important, because if you're coming into Qatar as a non-skilled worker, then it's okay. You don't need to bring your certificate. And all the certificates that I've mentioned, your police clearance certificate, you need to attest it from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and also with your education certificate, or if it's artisanal certificate. Let's say you went to a technical shop or anywhere to be an apprentice under a master to learn your handcraft or to learn whatever you know how to do. You need to attest all these documents from Ghana before you bring them here. Because if you bring them here, what shows that these are proper documents from your country? If it's only attest, that is when they can say, okay, these are legit documents or these are proper documents. So if you don't attest them and you come here, it's nothing, but you still have to attest it. But then again, you have to send it either through DHL or any means of transport that your documents will get back to Ghana to be attested. You remember when I started this video, I said there are two most important documents. The second on the list, like the most important document on this list, is MONEY. That is money. Money is very important in this document required to come to Qatar. Because, okay, maybe a company recruited you directly from your country. Because I know of a guy, Albert, I've mentioned your name. He got a direct employment from Ghana. So they sent everything through his email. He just received them, printed his ticket. Then he just came here. People are just fortunate. People are just lucky. That is why I say sometimes you can go to Google. Listen, for instance, now that less companies are recruiting in Qatar, why don't you just do yourself, listen, invest in yourself, research, go to the internet, type companies recruiting in Qatar. Look for these companies, take at least 5 of them, look for their email account, send them email. I mean, don't wait for them to post online that they're looking for people to recruit them. It's okay, just send. So just in case they want people, they will consider you first because they already have your CV, they already have, you know what I mean? This is just smart way to go about it. So I think we've done a lot of talking today. I've exhausted almost everything. This was supposed to be a very short video. So just like I said, money is very, very important, especially if you are traveling with agency. I've said this severally. If you want to travel and you don't have enough money, just chalk, relax, get enough money, be ready to travel, and then just travel in peace, travel legally. Again, don't travel with hire card. to come to Qatar and work. One thing that I've realized, I know I'm moving out of course, I'm talking about something else, but this is also very important. I know a lot of people, recently there was a guy in my comment section, he came to Qatar with a hire card, and I know this guy. When I told people I know this guy, they were surprised. They're like, do you have that memory, like to remember everyone who comments on you? Yes. I mean, if you are a return subscriber, or if you are someone, a constant, someone who watches my video and comments all the time trying to get information, of course I will notice you. So there is this particular guy, he said he's been in Qatar for some time now, and he came with hire card, and he's still looking for a job, and he thought maybe because he's dark skinned, that is why he's not been able to get a job yet. But bro, you cannot work with hire card, you cannot work with tourist visa. It's okay, I'm not going to talk about this anymore. Anyways, my name is Maleek Sterling, and if this is your first time see me on your screen, kindly make sure to subscribe. I love you all and stay safe. Bye bye.